Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, I want to talk about how to start from scratch your very own coaching, consulting, or agency business. Whether you're a total beginner and someone that has no idea what you're doing and you've just seen this business model kind of thrown around, or you're somebody that's already doing pretty well but just wants a reminder of the fundamentals and know how to scale, to that $1 million a year range. I'm really just going to hit the core fundamentals of what it takes in order to start and grow a business like my own. It's only 18 days into the month now, and we've officially passed $65,000 in sales in my business, which means we're easily going to have a $100,000 month doing this. And I just want to explain to people, how you can pick a niche, build an offer, build your marketing and sales process, and get started today. Whether you are, again, a total beginner or someone that has already had experience. So this video really is for people who are looking for like a good online business to start that is actually real. It's not just like some bullcrap fancy scammy thing. It's actually real people having real transactions with them and getting them real results, right? That's the first thing. The next thing is, people who are kind of stuck. They're trying to run this thing, but they can't seem to get it to work, which is most of my audience. A lot of you guys are those sorts of people where, you have a good idea of how these things work and you just really haven't gone all in yet and you don't really know how to scale. And then the last one is the people that are already succeeding, just giving you a reminder of the basics and the things that actually matter. So let me first tell you, why does any of this matter? Why should you even start your own business, and how do you actually start your own business, with the model that I'm talking about, or really what should you do and why does it matter? Well, I'll tell you a story about myself. Back when I was first getting started, and let me erase all of this, I have gone from, in the past 4 years, I went from $50,000 a year total in income to $1 million a year with my business, right? And how do you even go through that process? Like, why does this matter? Well, I remember being 17 years old. This is when I started, and I had no money, I had no reputation, I had pretty much no connections. I pretty much started just totally from scratch. And I just decided, there was definitely help that I could have gotten, but I wanted to just figure it out myself and make sure that I could get it to work myself. I remember I actually went through a house fire at this time that forced me to figure out a source of income for my family. And this is what I started to do. I started to figure out, so at the time I was a photographer, and I said I'm gonna help other photographers grow their business. Because I had done pretty well with it, so I figured maybe I could do that for people. So I started selling photography, education stuff, how to start your own wedding photography business, how to grow it, and I made, the biggest month I had was a $4,000 to $8,000 month. $4,000 collected, and then tons of verbal yeses on people that would eventually work with me. So technically an $8,000 month, but $4,000 actually collected it, and then another $4,000 coming up throughout the next 4 to 5 months, trying to sell that offer. And really it was just an online program and some coaching, helping people, grow their wedding photography business, right? Fast forward to today, we're doing $1 million a year, helping people start and grow their own businesses, as well as helping people who are already established to take them to that 7-figure year level. $1 million a year is really the main goal for our clients. So, how did I make those breakthroughs, and what can you learn from me? So keep in mind, I was a total normal kid, didn't have anything going for me. All I had was an internet connection and just some basic understanding of marketing. And now today we're doing this. And one of the main things that I learned is there's only really 4 systems in your business. There's 4 things you have to think about whenever you're running your business. The first thing is marketing. It's how are you getting attention? And this is what we help our clients do, right? We build them good marketing processes. Instead of our 7 or 6-figure programs, we help you get that attention and build that trust at scale with people. Really, trust is the best word that I can use to summarize what marketing is supposed to do. You're supposed to build that trust with people quickly and effectively. The next thing is sales. How do you turn that marketing into sales for your business? And what is the offer? What are you actually selling them, and how do you actually get them results? The next thing is delivery. Once you've decided what it is that you're going to do for people, and you've picked a niche, you've got marketing, you're getting sales calls in the door, how do you deliver? How do you actually get them results? And the last thing is operations. And operations is really just knowing your numbers. It's knowing how to get, projections in the door. It's knowing, what's your closing rate on your sales calls? What's, how many of the clicks on your ads actually turn into, clients in the door for your business. It's knowing numbers like this. Operations is the main bridge between, being at $10,000 to $20,000 a month and being at $1 million a year and even $1 million a month. I mean, I've got people in my network that I know personally that are doing $1 million a month. Just today, I had a text come in from a buddy. He was sharing his goals with me. He wanted to do $180,000 this week. And I said, dude, go for it. You've got this. You can totally do $180,000. I'm aiming to do $35,000 to $40,000 this week. So these are the 4 things we're going to go over today in this video, in this training. And I just want to show you how to do these things and how you can continue to get help if you want to learn more. So if you're a beginner and you've never run a business before, or you don't know what I'm talking about, and you think marketing and sales and operations and delivering these things they sound complex, I understand where you're coming from. One of the clients we worked with, he started from absolute zero with us, and all he had was a little bit of sales experience. His name is Bastian, and he actually is now doing over $100,000 a month in his business, selling a program that helps people organically market their service on Facebook. So that's the main thing he does. He helps people organically market their business and get sales calls for whatever it is that you're doing using Facebook organic processes, right? And so he started from total scratch, and he thought this was all super complicated, but he actually got our help, worked with us, and we built him these processes that got him from zero to $20,000, $30,000 a month. And then he kept applying the same principles we had discussed at the start, and he just went further and further and further and further and pushed the limits of what's possible, right? So how can you do this? Well, the very first thing you're going to want to focus on is, what's your niche? You got to think about, who am I serving and how am I serving them? So an example could be, I just brought in somebody into our programs. She is helping attorneys get results with digital marketing, get more clients. So she said, I want to work with attorneys because my boyfriend's sister, I believe she said, is an attorney, and she said that she's going to start helping her and figuring out how can I help her get more results. So she's reading a bunch of books on marketing. She is, studying how to run ads. She's getting really good at, delivering services and just setting expectations. And a lot of people think that you need to have, like a degree or like some sort of certification in order to do this stuff, but really you don't. All you need is a good niche, and you need to identify that niche's core problem. If you can identify a niche's core problem, which for attorneys, for the most part, it's lack of control in their business. They don't really know where their business is going to come from. They're relying on word of mouth, and they don't have a consistent stream of clients. So she's trying to fix that for her clients by building them better marketing processes, right? So what's your niche? What's the industry you're going after, and what's the core problem that you solve for them? That's the only thing you have to think about when you're a beginner. And if you're confused, you can look at some examples of niches, like, you can work with dentists, attorneys, online e-commerce stores. You can work with individuals who want to lose weight. You can work with people who want to elevate their standards, their habits, their lifestyle. You can work with people who want to have better relationships. You can work with people who, want to start a YouTube channel. You can work with people who want to get better at photography, like I used to do. Any skill that you have or that you can quickly research and master, you can take that, package it, build an audience online, and get them to buy. So now let's talk about sales. So we've got niche. Let's talk about sales, really sales/marketing, okay? How do you market? How do you get people to speak with you? And how do you, get clients in the door? Well, for marketing, there's really 2 ways you can market, okay? And what I've found is, there's not that many ways that actually work. People tout, the new tool. They're saying you gotta have social media platforms on every single pod. You gotta have LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook. You gotta have a podcast. You gotta have a YouTube. You gotta do all these things. You gotta have, you wanna have as much noise out there as possible in the market to attract as much business as possible. And that's one way of doing things. But I've actually found that numbers-driven marketing works best. Like, for example, our YouTube channel, I know how many views we need to get in order to get a sales call, and I know how many sales calls we need in order to get a client. So I literally know the numbers behind my operation, and I can just predict where things will head that month, that quarter, that year, based on those numbers. So it's less about having a lot of noise, and it's more about knowing your numbers. So some examples of some basic marketing things is you can join 7 to 10 just Facebook groups. I'm sure you've heard of these things. They're super simple. It's just a community of people online that get together with a certain idea in mind. Like, it could be, single mothers, or it could be, people who own brick and mortar stores, or it can be people who like internet marketing, or it could be people who, want to lose weight, or whatever it is that your niche is. Join those groups and spend the next 30 days bringing value to that community. Help them, show them how they can solve their problems. Put a post or two out there about how I went from here to here in my business, or here to here in my diet, or here to here in my relationships, or whatever it is that you're trying to help people with. Explain your personal journey and how you've arrived at the state that you want to arrive in. You're gonna get tons of friend requests, you're gonna get tons of people wanting to message you, and you're gonna get tons of potential clients in the door very quickly. This is one of the things that we teach our clients inside of our programs. We say, look, just join these groups, start making some noise, bring some value. You can put the same posts in 7 to 10 groups. Nobody's gonna get mad at you, and if they do get mad at you, they're probably not gonna make that good of a client anyway. So get out there, find these groups, post around, bring value, help people. One of our clients that worked with us landed a $20,000 a month deal. He helps real estate brokerages scale their marketing campaigns using Facebook ads and such. And he landed a client literally just leaving a comment inside of a Facebook group post. So he left a comment, and it was like 3 months later, he brought this value to this guy. This guy said, hey, I'm trying to run ads and they're not quite working. How do I get this to work? And he just broke down their problem. He answered it in a comment and helped them out a little bit. And he's not even that much of an expert. He just knows enough to kind of be able to communicate it. But then this big brokerage saw that comment, messaged him and said, hey, I'd love to meet with you soon. Took him 2 or 3 meetings, but by the end of the process, he'd landed a $20,000 a month deal helping brokerage owners scale their marketing campaigns. So it's a really, really cool thing that he was able to do. So that's the basics of marketing. If you want to get out there and start marketing right now, that's the easiest way to do it. But there's also paid ways of doing things. So once you have a little bit of money in the bank, you can actually start spending money to make money back. So if you just have this system where you can spend, let's say, $1 and turn it into $2 for your business, you're pretty much creating and printing money for yourself. So right now we spend about $1,000 to $2,000 a day on ads, and you might have stumbled onto this video from an ad potentially, or whatever it might be. And we see that we make at least $2 back for every dollar that we spend. And even if we just break even, we spend $1, we make $1 back, or we spend 10 and we make 9 back and we lose a little bit of money, I'm not scared of that, because I'm just getting attention, getting people to buy into what I do, building their trust and building that trust at scale, which is really, again, that's the main word you're looking for when it comes to marketing, is building that trust at scale. So if you have money and you want to invest and just go hard, you can just build a simple process. And what it looks like is you're just running ads to a basic page where you're just collecting their information, their name, their email. You're sending them to a video that you record, and you just bring value. You show, hey, here's how you can go from point X to point Y. Here's how to start your business or grow your gym, or solve your tax issues, or whatever it is. And you encourage them to book a call, and then you move them to a sales presentation, and you just kind of speak with them and you figure out where they're at. And the secret here is only make offers if you know you can help someone, and that's what really will grow your business. Really growing your business comes down to knowing when you can and can't help someone, being honest with yourself and with them. And if you're able to find total strangers from advertising campaigns, they're gonna really respect that you're actually looking to help real people, and it's gonna go a long, long way. So now it comes down to sales. So again, we have our 4 core pillars. We've got marketing, we've got sales, we've got delivery, and we've got operations. So this is marketing, we've covered that. Now it's on to sales. How do you actually sell this thing? Well, we actually have a pretty solid script, and I'm gonna give it away to you completely for free. The link is in the description, and you can check it out. It was inspired by a mentor of mine that helped me when I was just getting started. And this is a script that totally changed my life. I literally went from like 10% close rate to a 40% close rate when I used this script in my business. And now I train our team that are selling for us to use the exact same script. So what a lot of people think sales is it's something like, pitch hard, and you gotta use pressure, and you have to force them to make a decision, and you're kind of like making them uncomfortable and saying, hey, just do this right now, and if you do this right now, I'll be able to help you. And it's talking a lot, and it's talking fast, and it's like not respecting the client. Well, the problem with that is you're going to attract people that don't really like you that much. And frankly, most people in the sales market, that's how they sell. They use pressure, they use tactics, and they use weird psychological hacks to get people to do things that they want them to do. But the real way of selling, and this is what I've found, is that you actually just want to listen. You want the client to tell you where they're at right now, where they want to get. So you want to figure out their point A, where they are now, their point B, where they want to get, and why they can't bridge this gap themselves. So you're asking good questions and just hearing them out and listening to what it is that they need in order to succeed. And if you find that your offer can help them, you make a case for why, and then you give them some incentive to make a decision, and then you bring them in. And that's how you move from having these 4 to 6 call back and forth sales processes where you're emailing people back and forth and figuring out a good deal to, in one call, getting somebody to commit to you $3,000 to $10,000 for your offer. And this is what we help our clients do inside of our programs. We help them build this $3,000 to $10,000 offer. And back when I was first getting started, the first time I sold a $10,000 package, I probably did 4 minutes of talking in a 55-minute meeting. I was just asking questions, hearing where they're at, moving them towards where they are, where they want to get, and what's stopping them from getting there themselves. And if you can solve this problem in your process, you can move from being a 10% closer to a 40% closer. If you can be a good salesperson, it will fix everything in your business. And eventually, when you move into an operations level, you can start to have other people sell for you, and it gets way easier. So that's the basics of sales. Of course, we can go into a lot more, but that's just the basics. Next thing is delivery. So there's a lot of different ways you can deliver, but my favorite way to deliver is to sort of think about it as a spectrum, where on one end, you've got done for you services. So if you're going to come into somebody's business and do something for them, or come in and serve them in a specific way, you're actually doing the work, or your team is doing the work. And on the other end of the spectrum, you've got do it yourself, DIY, which means you're kind of just putting them into a program that shows them how to do it themselves, and they can just go through that and get the result that way. My favorite is somewhere right here in the middle. I call it done with you. It's when you provide all the templates, all the necessary ingredients in order to succeed, and then you kind of hold their hand and show them and hold them accountable and give them people to speak to and coaches, or you coach them yourself, and you bring them through that process that way. A lot of people think that, done for you is the easiest to sell and you're going to be able to charge the most for it. But I've actually found the first time I sold a $10,000 package was actually a done with you package. And I've actually found that I can actually sell more and get better results at done with you than I was able to done for you, because done for you requires you to come in and make changes in their business or their life or whatever it is that you're doing for them. And they won't always trust you with that, space. So do it yourself is great for scale. It's really good for getting a lot of people very quickly and a lot of people paying you a little bit of money. Done with you, I've found, is my favorite, and that's what we help our clients build. We build this offer that's like a hybrid between doing it for them and showing them how to do it. It's somewhere in between, so that you get the best of both worlds and you get the most results for clients, and they have the best time working with you. So they send their friends, they send their colleagues, and you get more business organically that way. So that's a huge thing to think about as well. So that's delivery. How do you deliver a done with you package? Well, it's pretty simple. So you want to have some sort of a portal online, a place where you save content, and you can pre-record some stuff and give them the basics. You can have a Google Drive, or you can use a website like teachable.com or something like this to host, your online program. And then you want to use a software like Calendly. And Calendly is going to allow you to actually let your clients schedule calls on your calendar, or your coaching team's calendar, depending on what your offer looks like. So they can pretty much at any time come on and schedule a call. I like to, when I was just getting started, my offer was, hey, I'll work with you for 3 months. It'll be 1 call a week. I host the calls over Zoom so that they can get the recording of the call. And then I gave them daily support, so they could hit me anytime with text support or anything like that. So they'd have 1 call a week, recordings of it, they'd have communication with me, and at one point I was working with 16 clients one-on-one, helping them, and I was able to scale that to a point where I was doing $20,000 to $40,000 a month just with this one model. So it works really, really well. All you need is Teachable, Calendly, and maybe a Zoom account so that you can host the calls and give them the recordings of them. Calendly for your calendar, Teachable to host the online program if you're gonna pre-record some content and give them some templates and resources. You can if you want to, you don't have to. And then Zoom.com, to host the actual calls. So that's the basics there. That's for delivery. Now, the next thing, as we talked about, is operations. And operations is one of these things that honestly, you can forget it until you are at, $20,000 to $40,000 a month. But if you want to get to $1 million a year, this is really where we're really good at helping our clients, is in operations. It's, looking at team and who you hire and when you hire them. It's looking at, the numbers of, what it costs to get a client. Like one of our clients, Luke, spends about $1,200 to get a client that'll pay him $2,500 a month for 3 months. So he has them sign a contract that says, you're gonna pay me $2,500 a month, and he just basically runs their marketing for their construction businesses. So they're like construction workers or construction business owners that need better marketing. He runs ads, gets them to book calls. It costs him about $170 per call using the process that we built for him, and he's able to consistently get returns back. And that's kind of when you get to that next level. You've already gotten some clients in organically using Facebook or LinkedIn, and then you can scale from there, okay? So operations is knowing your numbers, it's knowing your team, and it's being able to project your numbers. So I'm not gonna get super deep into this today, but essentially the main lesson you can pull away from operations is know your numbers. This is huge. If you don't know what it takes to get a client, you don't know how many posts it takes to get a client, you don't know your close rate on your calls, you are not going to succeed. Your favorite activity should be whipping out your calculator and doing some projections for this week, this month, or this next 3 months. Saying, okay, I had 9 calls and I closed 2 of them. That means I have like, what is that, a 20, maybe a 15% close rate. Okay, let's say I had 10 calls, I got 2 sales. That's a 20% close rate even. So you know that you close 20% of your calls on average. So that means if you get 100 calls, you're making 20 sales, and if your product or your service is worth $3,000, that's $60,000 in business. So how do we go out and get 100 calls either every month or every year if I want to make $60,000 a year? So knowing your numbers is what allows you to have the control over your business, and my favorite one is, again, the closing rate. Knowing what it costs to get a call, whether it's in terms of advertising or it's in terms of organic prospecting, how much content you have to put out or whatever, knowing what it costs, and then knowing how much you close, like how often you close on those calls. What's your closing percentage? And then the last metric you're gonna need to understand is how many clients can I take on before the whole system breaks? If you know those 3 numbers, you can scale honestly as far as you want. I know people that do $1 million a month with one service. It's like a $10,000 coaching program for business owners. It's these huge high leverage service delivery things. They've got a team of 30 coaches that are really good at what they do. I mean, I myself am on track to do 6 figures a month, $100,000 a month on month in 2021. And I wanna help you build the exact same thing. So at this point, I've given you a lot, right? I've shown you how I've gone from a 17-year-old kid making $50,000 a year to 21 years old and nearly doing $1 million a year. So really, you only have 2 options at this point if you've watched this far on this video or this training. The first option that you have is you can try and go figure this out yourself. And that's fine. A lot of people, they succeed figuring it out themselves, but it takes them 2 to 4 years on average, I've seen, and I've helped over 400 business owners. A lot of people have said no to us, a lot of people have said yes. The people that say no, they almost always come back a year and a half later and they're like, hey man, I'm ready to go, I'm struggling, I'm having a hard time, let's just figure it out. And they hop in. But if you're gonna figure it out yourself, I recommend going all in, read some books, just study the free stuff, watch this video over and over again, but it's gonna take you 2 to 4 years to figure it out like it did me. I mean, I was 17 when I started, I'm 21 now. So it took me 4 years. So if you're willing to spend 4 years and tons of money and burn yourself out emotionally and figure it out yourself, if you're willing to go through that process, good on you. Like there's some real credit to be said there that you are willing to go through that process. But if you want to speed things up and you want to just get to the meat of what actually works and you want to work with people that can get you results quickly and effectively, I want to announce, that we are looking for clients. We are looking for people to help them start and grow this or grow their existing version of this. So that's really option 2. First option, figure it out yourself. Second option is you can actually book a call with us using the link down below and schedule a call with us directly. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna see if it's a win-win. If it makes sense and it seems like you're the kind of person that we can help, we'll walk you through what we do for our clients. We'll show you how we help you build that $3,000 to $10,000 offer, how we help you go to market and get qualified sales calls on the calendar, how we help you build your team, how we help you master operations and all of these elements of your business. And you'll actually get to be able to get helped directly by me. So not everybody can say that. We have daily support, including support from myself, making sure that our clients succeed. And that's how we've created our $2 million a year case studies, is they scheduled their call, they let us help them, and they saw what we had to offer, and they said, you know what, I'm gonna go all in and figure this out. And that's the attitude that we're looking for. So if you feel like you're ready to make a solid investment into the growth of your business, you're ready to cut to the chase and get the help that you've been needing this whole time. If you've been stuck for a year, 2 years figuring this out, or you're just learning about this opportunity and you want to figure out how to do it yourself and you don't want to have to waste your time, going from guru to guru, reading tons of books, stumbling over yourself, wasting time on things that aren't moving the needle, aren't making you money, schedule a call with myself and my team, fill out the form in full, tell us honestly where you're at, where you're wanting to get, and what exactly is stopping you, what are the challenges you're facing, and we're gonna look for those win-wins. And I'll tell you this, if you're not a good fit, it's no big deal. It's a handshake and we send you on your way. We say no a lot, but if we do say no, we're gonna send you tons of free resources and help you out in an incredible way, so it could easily be the best 45 to 60 minutes you've ever spent on growing your business to date. And if it's not, we'd be surprised. People that hop on these calls, that schedule them, that don't work with us, still love the time they spent with us. The people who do hop on and they do join into our group coaching programs and inside of our, our private client groups, they make their investment back extremely quickly. Plus, they know how to grow their business out into the long term. So if you want help and you want to get started today and have a 90-day action plan to get results and start this business and get started with real help, people that have done it themselves, and we're not just teaching, we've actually done these things, and I've done these things, and so have our coaches. We'll help you, we'll come on to your business, you can treat us like your partner. Schedule your call down below. I'd love to work with you. We'd love to work with you. If you want proof of some of the results that we've gotten, you can check out some of the other resources we have below. We've got tons of screenshots and also resources of interviews we've had with real clients and people that we've been able to help. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video today. If you did, feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check me out on Instagram, anything like that. But the best option is just to go straight for the meat and schedule your call. If that sounds good to you, links down below. Happy to help you, and hopefully you enjoyed this video today. See you in the next one.